Hello, this is Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and the guitar I'm holding here is the latest guitar by Northern Ireland's Lowden Guitars. It's called the Wee Lowden, and you can probably tell why. It's the smallest guitar they've ever made, and it's a very cool guitar for several reasons. Basically what this is George Lowden's take on the parlor guitar concept. But instead of copying any kind of vintage design, he's really come up with a way to sort of shrink down his original Lowden guitar design into an instrument that is just extremely compelling and fun to play. Most parlor guitars would have a 12-fret neck joint and a slotted headstock and kind of follow the traditional American style of steel string guitar building. Whereas this guitar is basically a shrunk-down version of Lowden's F-style guitar. That's kind of what it looks like. It only measures about 13¼ inches across the lower bout, but it retains the 14-fret neck joint, the Lowden typical headstock, and really all the other design traits that Lowden has become famous for. And it should also be said that this guitar really adheres to all the incredibly high quality standards in terms of the craftsmanship and the woods and really everything around it that people expect from Lowden. So this is a full quality Lowden instrument. The Wee Lowden is available in several of Lowden's model lines in terms of woods and appointments. The one that I have here is the 35X, Wee Lowden 35X, which has a cedar top, Indian rosewood back and sides. It has the typical 5-piece neck that pretty much all Lowdens have, and that is 5 pieces this way, laminated for incredible stiffness and really great stability on the neck. The guitar has an ebony fingerboard, which is matched with a rosewood bridge, which is something you don't see too often in the steel string guitar world, to have the fingerboard and the bridge be out of different materials. But you really do have a little bit more flexibility by choosing the bridge material for its weight rather than to match the color of the fingerboard, as many steel string guitars do. Of course, speaking of the bridge, it's got the Lowden typical shape as well as the pinless design, so the strings feed in from the back, and it's got the 2-saddle design with the bottom 4 strings going over one saddle and the top 2 strings going over a separate saddle. The idea behind that is better intonation of the second string. You can see you would need quite a wide saddle to get the kind of compensation that you can get with this 2-piece design. The guitar has a 610 millimeter scale. Lowden, being in Europe, gives their measurements in millimeters. That translates to just a little tiny bit over 24 inches. So a very short scale, shorter than most short scale guitars even, and it results in just incredible playability. Very easy to do long stretches, and yet, as you heard in the beginning as I was playing it fingerstyle in a drop D tuning, it still holds a wonderful bass. And it's really a full-sounding guitar that doesn't make you think of a travel guitar or anything that compromises the overall tone due to the short scale and the small size. In terms of appointments, the guitar really follows Lowden's typical extremely clean lines. It's got wooden binding. In this case, it's sycamore, walnut, rosewood, and mahogany purfling on here. It's got a simple abalone rosette. No fingerboard dots in the front of the fingerboard. Of course, there are markers on the side, position markers, so you know where you are as you're playing. Beautiful purfling also on the back of the body, and a simple white center strip down the back. The guitar uses Gotoh 510 tuners with ebony buttons, which really creates a nice harmony with the rest of the appearance of the guitar. And I like the fingerboard binding with ebony on the outside and a white strip right next to it in here. This particular guitar that I'm holding here came with a LR Baggs Anthem pickup system, which consists of the under saddle pickup. In this case, there are 2 elements because of the split saddle, and an internal microphone. It has the Anthem crossover on the inside that really gets the best of both worlds from the pickup and the internal microphone. And the Anthem has become the standard pickup system that Lowdens are available with. So we're going to listen to that plugged in a little bit later. Overall, it just has to be said that the quality of the materials on this guitar is just really quite stunning. The cedar top is beautifully tight-grained, really beautiful color. I love the look of the Indian rosewood used on this guitar. Really throughout, it's very obvious that the selection of materials was paramount in putting this guitar together. And the Lowden typical slightly satin finish really makes all the wood shine in a special way. That really is unique to Lowden guitars. I haven't seen this particular finish on anybody else's guitars. You heard me play the guitar fingerstyle in the beginning of this video. Let's also listen to Peghead Nation's Scott Nygaard playing the guitar, and then we're going to come back and listen to the guitar with the pickup. So as I mentioned earlier, this guitar includes the LR Anthem pickup system, and in this case it's the full Anthem with the big control module as opposed to the Anthem SL, which would have the smaller control module, and that allows you control over volume as well as the blend between the pickup and the microphone. I've got it set to kind of an in-between position here, and I was able to get a lovely sound through our little Fishman Loudbox mini amplifier here. And it really goes to show that even though this guitar would be sort of the perfect couch guitar, plugged into an amp with this great Anthem pickup system, you could take this anywhere. I wouldn't hesitate to perform with this instrument anywhere. So anyone looking for a great performance guitar that could fit into the overhead of a plane, this just might be the answer right here. But let me show you what the guitar sounds like played through an amp. So think if you just heard that coming through some speakers, you would never think that a guitar this small with a 13¼ inch size body and a 24-inch scale would be capable of that large a sound. And partially it's the great LR electronics that make that possible, but also played acoustically. The guitar really never makes you think of a small sound. It's got a full-bodied tone, great voice, great dynamic range. Would never make you miss your larger instruments if you had to just play a small Wee Lowden all the time. So definitely a great new addition to Lowden's lineup of instruments. I highly recommend you check them out at a Lowden dealer near you and enjoy the small, easy playability and great tone of one of these instruments. For Peghead Nation, I'm Teja Gerken.